Welcome back to the Precision Trader. Just want to go through a quick look on the order book to show you what things look like today, and help you to understand how to take advantage of the order book better. So we're going to start with the GME earnings. Like I'd mentioned a couple of days to the group. Yeah, look for us to pump into earnings, and has not disappointed over the last couple of days. So let's jump right into it. So we start the day, and first things first, we want to identify the monster levels, the big levels of liquidity. So for me, of course, I see 250 up there. So going in, if you watch yesterday's video, I mentioned, hey, 250. I'm expecting to see 250 into earnings. So, but when we start the day, we see that we're still a pretty good ways away from liquidity levels, major liquidity levels. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Now, I've seen this level down here at 190. Liquidity starts around 191, somewhere in there. So for me, that was the entry. I was hoping for a drop to this liquidity. And why was I very confident here? Because there was no major liquidity, no big red, orange, yellow bands on the other side of 190. So that made me very confident that, hey, this is very much very likely our bottom. And anyway, and I actually sent that out to the group. Let me actually see if I can get to the server. And hold on here. Let me see if I can get it pulled up for us. Yeah, so let me share it here with you. Okay, yeah, we see to start our day in our pre-market prep outlook or pre-market outlook channel, jumped into GME at 190, got in around 195, and also to AMC, which we'll look at it here in just a minute, 43. And then again, order book showing a push to 225. I'll show you that. And then for AMC was 48. 48 was the start of the next major liquidity. So let me get back to the order book here. All right, back to the order book. So with that said, 225. So of course, 250 is the big daddy. But for today, not confident it's going to push $50 today. But for today, 225 was the big level. You see the liquidity. I mean, just tons of people wanted. And of course, we know if you watch previous videos, the market wants to push, especially if it has volume, it wants to push. It's going to push to major levels of liquidity. So we say that it came down here, came down to 192, 193. Again, I got in at 195-ish. And yeah, we see that it proceeded to start pushing. Yeah, once I seen that it came down here, and I didn't want to take a chance on it pushing in and through the liquidity with a stock like this. I mean, and you can see how it was black here first above this liquidity. Now it starts getting blue, white, because what's happening, people are pushing their orders up. They're taking them from 190 and they're pushing them. And then once you get on top of the VWAP in this scenario, yeah, nice little bullish candle off of the VWAP there. That was very, very good signs for upside. And of course, let's see what happened. Now I'd love to tell you that I was sitting right here taking profit and then flipping to short. Well, for some reason, my broker took away my ability to my short shares that they'd given me to be able to short. So that was pretty frustrating because, yeah. So with that said, it pushed right up to the 225 liquidity and then proceeded to dump. Anyway, told the group to take profit at the told them I was out for 225 there. And then from that point, we fall back down to the VWAP, sideways. And then my re-entry for GME, I was hoping we'd come back in that 190 to 200 area. Well, ended up coming just short of it. We pulled all the way back to 201. Yeah, 201 was the level that it pulled back to, which wasn't not bad. Let me see, yeah, right here, 201. So anyway, so that was a good re-entry for that. And then of course, a lot of the volume dried up. So, but I'm sure it'll come back in the last hour or so of the day. Let's see, AMC. All right, so AMC. What's interesting is, that's another thing I've all the way back to GME and AMC, whenever they pumped, GME pumped 3 to 350 or 340 for earnings, and AMC was pumping with it. Yeah, before GME pumped, I got into GME and AMC because I felt like they were, pretty connected based on the last time they pumped earlier in the year, and sure enough, that's been the case. So that's why I said the other day, I was like, hey, I'm expecting GME to pump into earnings, and I'm very confident it's going to drag AMC with it. So, and that's what it's done. That's why I encourage ones to get in AMC, like I showed you in the server this morning at 43. So we look at the order book. Why was I confident with 43? Well, just like with GME or GameStop, there was no, there's a little bit there at 40, but this is it. I mean, you got a major level of liquidity right here, really nothing behind it for me. And I know it's a stock that wants to push. Yeah, this is really an unfair advantage to have this knowledge. So anyway, so yep, that's where it jumped in, 43 on AMC. And then why did I tell the group I'm taking profits at 48? Well, because this was the first major line of liquidity at 48. So that's why I took my profit at 48, told them I am out of there and looking for a re-entry back in the, the 44 to 45 range. And now granted, it could have, pushed through this liquidity and pushed on up to 50, but at the same time, it's, I knew that there was going to be some degree of pullback here. Now, if it would have proved that it could have stayed on top of 48, we got one or two, at least ideally 2 5-minute candles that were able to sit, get on top of 48 and hold that liquidity. Yeah, I'm willing to continue to ride the momentum, but I'm not going to give it back a bunch of profit. Just not going to do it. So with that said, AMC proceeded to drop all the way back down to 44. Got my re-entry there. And at this point, now I'm looking at 47 as the exit. Once we get a pump back, so we had somebody, one of the server members, they'd hollered at me around AMC 43, 44, wanting some verification they was going to push up, and yeah, it looked good in the order book. So with that said, we see it ended up dipping back down to the 44 area, and then pushed, once it got some orders filled around this liquidity around 44, pushed back up to 47. I took half off there. Wanted to take all of it, but I kind of felt like we could push back up to 48. So anyway, should have took all of it off, but especially considering it's later in the day, the volume's down, it's going to be harder to get to higher levels of liquidity unless things really start pumping. So with that said, that's AMC where it's sitting right now, $45, hanging around the VWAP, just waiting for the volume to come in so it can push its way back up here to 47. But you can see, people started dragging their orders down. It's at 46.80, which I got my take profit at 46.70 or 46.69. Because again, I want to be right below them. Yep, I don't want to be with them because granted, like I said, they could blast through and head onto this 48, but I got to see it. I got to see it absorb these sellers first. Once it proves that it can do that, then hey, let's ride it to the upside. Let me see what else. BABA encouraged ones to take profit at 170 yesterday. And let's see what it's looked like today. Oh, I just missed an order, which I was hoping to get filled at 165 buy order, which I should have brought it up here to 166 because there was a lot of buyers sitting at this spot. So anyway, but I didn't. But we see that BABA rejects off the 170 liquidity up here and rejects all the way down. It has some buyers that try to grab it back. It's 167, push it back up, falls down to the 166 liquidity. They push it back up, and then finally to this big band of liquidity at 166 where it wanted to go. With that said, I have limit order sitting at 165 to jump in, or just above like 165.50 to jump in just above this liquidity because I'm pretty confident it's going to get there. And then I have more orders at 160 because there's another band of buyers there. Let's see. What was some other stuff that we had? Some of the group wanted to jump in Moderna. I did not feel confident jumping in Moderna to the once it peaked out or pegged out at this 410, 412 liquidity. Just a lot of sellers up in that area. So, and you look at the overall liquidity, really 415, 420 is where Moderna is showing this. Yeah, it's pegging out. So look at all these sellers up in here. So yeah, I was not confident as far as Moderna blowing the top off today. And of course, there's nothing on the other side. Got some at 450 that are starting to show up in the order book. So for me, that's the, yeah, if it can get on 420 and hold, absorb all these sellers and get on top here, 450 is very likely. And I might play the run up there, or yeah, or I really want to just short the short it really bad. So anyway, but yeah, no, we called the top on here. Let me go back to my screen share here. We called the when it was at 480, 500. I sent out a pretty interesting chart to the group. Let's see if I can find it where we were talking about. Okay, that's the general chat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, look at this picture. mRNA looks pretty textbook, huh? At this time, it pulled back a little bit from 500. It was 480. Look at this nice chart. I mean, this is, yeah, the stock market euphoria. I mean, it was just, look at this, perfect. I mean, that's it. That's textbook. Yeah, and we know Moderna ended up coming all the way down to what, 349 from 500. So yeah, I spotted it. I just jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. Yeah, I was jumping in for, but at the same time, they had that share buyback thing that just totally just blew the top off. Yeah, that was such a pump and dump. Yeah, don't be surprised to see that in the news. Legal news at some point that there was some manipulation going on there. Announce your share buyback and then you dump it. Yeah, after it pumps to 500, which hey, I couldn't blame them either. Yeah, that was a pretty golden short opportunity. So with that said, Moderna, I told the guys 346. I don't even want to think about potentially going longer until 396 to 400. Because just yeah, it's all sellers up here. And let's see what it's done so far. Yep, ended up coming down to the 396 liquidity. Yeah, this was flashing 395 to 396 was flashing really strong liquidity earlier. So anyway, so they pushed it down there, holding at 398. Let's see what else. Take a quick peek at. Well, didn't hold Netflix long enough. I was short on it at 355. Yeah, didn't hold it long enough. Let's see. We see that it starts today, and yeah, there's just a lot more. Yeah, we see it rejected. That's part of the reason why I wasn't showing that 355 monster liquidity. A lot of sellers up there. So, and they ended up knocking it down to all the way down to 346, and then buyers stepped back in right there. So that was NFLX. So yeah, that's that was pretty much let me see, Tesla. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of, I always do some Tesla day trading. And let's see what it looks like. So we started the day. Come on. Yeah, Tesla always shows a beautiful, beautiful order book. One of the cleanest order books you'll get. All right, let me add some more data here. Sorry if you hear my fans going, BOOKMAP. Yeah. You're not going to be able to make it run really good without a good computer. Yeah, high-end gaming computer, graphics card, all that good stuff. It's yeah, so it doesn't, there ain't too many things that I have to do that, of course I'm doing gaming, but yeah, no, it they come on whenever I start using BOOKMAP. So all right, so this is Tesla. Starts the day 7:03. A good little strategy on Tesla is pay attention to the first candle of the day. Once you, in this case, comes down here at the 7:03 liquidity, a lot of buyers want to do business there, and sure enough, it pops right off of it. But once you see what it does, you know, on this after this right here, I mean, of course, you could have bought right here off this liquidity, but really this first candle right here, this first 2-minute candle, once you see it break the high of that, you know, after 2 to 3, after the first, 5 to 10 minutes, that's usually a very good sign that she's heading up for the day. So yeah, that's, and even too, whenever your first 2-minute candle here and it breaks below this, you usually can get anywhere from $3 to $5 out of that. So, but in this case, the buyer swooped in right here. So anyway, just a cool little strategy that I've back tested. Works really well. So anyway, so with that said, we see that gets our buyers, and of course, once these buyers right here show that they're gonna be able to hold it, gets on top of the VWAP, where we're going, we're going to the next major level of liquidity. In this case, 415. Had some sellers drag their orders down right here, so made it come up a little short of the 415 liquidity. But again, the majority of liquidity in the book was north. When I see that, that gives me a strong bias to the upside. Very little to the bottom side. So yeah. So that said, comes down here, bounces on this liquidity. You can see that people at 7:03 started dragging orders up to 7:05, 7:06, and we get a nice bounce, and they push it all the way back up to the 7:15 liquidity rejection there. I was short there. Yeah, and of course, how I like to short, I like to put short order on the front side of the liquidity and the back side, because even if it blasts through it, more times than not, it blasts through it real quick, and I'm like, okay, all right, a lot of volume, they want to push to the next level. More times than not, you're going to get a come back and a retest this level. So I can always, more times than not, just get out for break even. So with that said, pushed it back to the VWAP. And then it's just really just been chopping back and forth for a good chunk of the day. Finally pushed back up to 715. I had this was a false breakout that got me here. I had orders sitting at 16. You would know it, feel it within a few cents. 716 at 716.55 or 56, and you would know that it wicked right into it. And anyway, so I ended up having to, I grabbed it back at 714, and then was able to get right around a break even. But yeah, that false breakout got me, because I was like, oh yeah, 720, here we come. But it just wasn't just wasn't the volume and the buyers to follow through with it. But it's the middle of the day, you got to expect stuff like that. Yeah. Now, if this has been early in the day, you bring this, the first 2 or 3 hours of the day, that right there, that would have been the 720, guarantee it. So, but when you're dealing with low volume in the middle of the day, they like to chop it back and forth, and stop punt, all that good stuff. So with that said, so that's your BOOKMAP video for the day. I hope it helped you out. Definitely go back through the other videos. Got to do more strategies and education in the other videos as well. So hope that helps. And again, really, it's either you need to have BOOKMAP, or you need to be trading in a group or a server with somebody that has access to BOOKMAP, the order book, because it's just, you don't want to trade. You don't want to trade without this information. It's just, it's the only, it's not the only, there's actually two primary, it is the two primary and really only two leading indicators that I know of. And of course, they're both in the precision indicator course. So with that said, hope this helped, and hope the rest of your trading goes well, and may the market continue to be with you.